Broadcasts of Hiki No are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through Hiki No.
People forget we're already in the 21st century, and a lot of times, we got to prepare the kids for the 21st century. We've been in it for some time now. What has education, or how has education changed to meet the 21st century?
I took a journalism class in high school, and it really opened my eyes to how many stories are really out there. And with Hiki No, it opened my eyes even more because there's so many stories out there and everyone has one. You just have to dig deep and find one. It's within each and every one of us.
Hiki No was born during a series of brainstorming sessions right here at PBS Hawaii, and it was a recession, and we were determined to make the best use of our resources and to reach out to do something real and measurable to open doors for young people and better workforce development.
So after Leslie told us about this great vision, we were excited. And then she told us that the Knight Foundation out of Florida was having a national competition for community journalism and asked if PBS and the Community Foundation could partner together to go after a grant that would help kick off Hiki No. And Hiki No was selected one of, I think, 20 projects nationwide that were chosen for the prestigious Knight Award.
As Hiki No became more of a reality, we started getting grants for it, based on just this concept, not on anything that had actually, happened. It became evident that I, as the head of the production department at that time, was going to have to figure out what shape this was going to take.
Who says roll? She says roll?
We didn't know what to expect. We knew we had certain quality standards and goals to achieve, but for the content, we had no idea what it was going to be like.
Students were saying, we can do this. That's why Hiki No is the name of the project, Can Do. So really, that is what fueled us, this can-do attitude on the part of young people who said, we know what you say, we get it, but here's how we want to do it.
Honestly, I don't think that I would be where I am today without Hiki No, just because of the fact that Hiki No has gotten me out of my comfort zone, Hiki No has pushed me to exceed my past standards and helped me excel as a person.
We hope that we're being a catalyst to change the way that education is happening for our kids in Hawaii.
The season of spring often reminds us that change is just around the corner. Flowers bud, trees bloom, and birds migrate. In schools across Hawaii, students are also going through changes of their own. In elementary school, students are getting ready to take the next big step in life, middle school.
I thought Robert's going to figure out how to do this show. That's why he's executive producer. I'm here to figure out how to work with all these teachers on different islands at different schools with different personalities.
Come on in. This is Travis. Hi, Travis. Today the students are going to have around an hour of class time with Hiki No producers, and then from there they will go out and film their 2 factoids. I think it's important that students leave school with a desire to learn. Always learn, that the learning never stops.
And I can't think of a better motivator than PBS Hawaii's Hiki No. They taught me a lot about responsibility, about deadlines, about how things are supposed to look. But it also taught me a lot about myself and how if I want to make it somewhere, I'm going to have to work hard. But the end product is so worth it.
We went on the air in February of 2011, and so February of this year marked our 3rd year on the air, so we're into our 4th year.
In its first 2.5 years, it really grew. So at that point, we were, I think, at 65 schools. We were on 6 islands. We had sort of found that by participating in Hiki No, that teachers and students become more empowered, and that it's a really effective learning initiative and a learning tool. What we were concerned with, however, was the sustainability of the program.
The grant cycle for Hiki No was winding down, and we realized, we're not going to just quit. I mean, this is too good a thing to stop.
Here we are 4 years later, and Hiki No is pretty much my curriculum. The kids learn so much through these projects that it's become the standard of where we want our projects to be in class.
When you're on 6 islands, when you're in that many schools, and when you're a lean nonprofit organization that PBS Hawaii is and has been, we were concerned that it would be difficult for us to sustain this growth that the teachers and the students pushed for without us coming up with a revised model that would allow us to keep Hiki No and grow Hiki No now and into the future.
And we began to scratch our heads and say, gee, that sounds like what all kids in the 21st century really need to know.
From the beginning, the Stupski Foundation funded us. They thought it was an innovative idea, and they were willing to see where it led. And so we were going back to the Stupski Foundation to say, would you continue to support us, and would you, maybe up the ante a little, whatever the traffic will bear.
So last fall, we arranged a meeting for Joyce Stupski to meet with Leslie and Robert Pennybacker to talk about the progress that Hiki No made. And it was really clear that Hiki No had eclipsed all of our hopes and dreams in terms of what has transpired in the levels of participation among so many schools in the state and the quality of the broadcast journalism that was happening in those programs. But what we didn't know was what Leslie and Robert shared with us was in fact the profound effect it was having on helping those kids become much better students, much more empowered students, and being the agents of their own learning and education. So when Joyce heard this story of how Hiki No had become a really powerful learning tool, the conversation shifted. No longer was it about Hiki No being something nice to have. It became a conversation of how can we get this extremely powerful learning tool that clearly the kids love into the everyday curriculum of every public school in Hawaii.
And they proceeded to ask us some penetrating questions. How are you going to sustain it? What's the destination, and how are you going to get it there? Where are you going to get the money to get it there?
They came back with a proposal for Hiki No and what it would mean, and Joyce turned to them and said, this isn't good enough. It's not big enough. It's not bold enough.
We actually walked out of there stunned, and we sort of barely found the car. We're going, wow, we went in there for, a traditional ask, and it was a challenge. They threw down the gauntlet, right? They said, where are you going to go? You're responsible. You started this. Now make something bigger happen.
I think we were surprised that someone was saying, ask for more money. I mean, that doesn't happen very often. And it made us really think what would be the dream Hiki No program. And not only that, what would be something that after 3 years, it would then run on its own.
And again, Leslie and Robert went away, came back again, and that's when Joyce said, yeah, through the Donor Advised Fund at the Community Foundation and working with us, that we were going to make a grant to change the trajectory of Hiki No and to make it available as a learning tool, as a way of learning for kids in every public school in the state.
I was really thrilled that their program, which is a very powerful and really engaging way for kids to learn, would be aligned with the standards that we're trying to teach.
Both entities, PBS Hawaii, which produces Hiki No, and the school system, really want the same thing. We want the best for our children.
The partnership is a great one. I think the more opportunities that the institution of the DOE can build with partners like PBS that really help extend and deepen student learning through these experiences, the better.
Everything about it turns out to be a learning opportunity for everyone. For example, now we're learning to develop curriculum, and we're learning the language of professional evaluators, and we're seeing how the DOE brings new subject matters or studies into the school.
It's not so much now about filling in the bubbles on a test. It's about thinking about the facts and thinking about the analysis and being critical in that thinking. It gives us a chance to explore a new way of teaching kids.
Everyone sees the success of Hiki No in terms of what the students learn, what they get out of the experience, what the community gains by seeing these stories from all of these communities. But it's really difficult to measure.
McCraw is a research and development organization. Serving as an external evaluator provides a really objective look at whatever you're studying, and in this case it would be the Hiki No program.
So what does that mean? Kids have communication, they have storytelling. What does that mean? Does that mean that they succeed later in life, in their future career, or in school?
So it begins with understanding the program outcomes, what they want to see in their participants, figuring out ways to measure those outcomes, doing data collection, data analysis, and providing reports back to the Hiki No program staff.
It's a quantitative measurement of the impact of Hiki No on students.
We're here today at James Campbell High School to put the spotlight on the president of the James Campbell Band, Jake Hirsch. His incredible prowess with the saxophone has earned him a place at the prestigious Berklee College of Music in Boston, and today we've had the privilege of sitting down with him for an interview about his past and future as a musician in Hawaii.
Not too distant future, if someone entering the workforce is not able to communicate and tell stories, communicate ideas through digital media, they're going to be functionally illiterate, because that really is the language that the world is operating on.
We have no idea what kind of jobs are going to be there for our students when they get into the workforce, so we have to prepare them for jobs that we don't even know are going to exist.
How do you begin to prepare students for a future that you cannot even describe because you don't even know what it looks like yet, and it's happening so fast?
The media stuff is just a vehicle to get them into the classroom so we can help them get ready for their next step.
Relevance to me is the key, because that helps to inspire student learning, but it also creates an opportunity for students to feel like they're making a meaningful difference in what's going on around them.
I don't remember much, but I remember I jumped up for a ball, and when I came down, I landed on my neck, and I just blacked out.
In the concussion story, I was the head photographer and the head editor for it. Hiki No has given me a chance to really find out my limits, what I'm really interested in and how far I can go with the video productions and news production, and it's really shown me that I have potential, and then I'm pretty sure that it's shown a lot of other students that they have potential to do and show great things.
It's, I believe, where education should be going, where teachers take a different role of facilitating rather than leading the instruction, and students being given the opportunity to explore and figure out the answers without being told what the answers are, and that it's not so much what are the correct answers, but what is the process that leads toward effective storytelling.
We thought it would be great for the students because they already use technology, and if we could just add soft skills like discretion and responsibility and wisdom and media literacy, we'd be great with the kids. But it really has been a great flourishing for teachers who enjoy this kind of engagement with their students, and they learn.
As a teacher, I learned so much. And it's really cool to meet so many teachers across this state. We're all doing the same thing. We have similar problems. We have similar concerns. But it's really exciting to be able to share that with other teachers.
We feed off of each other. We get ideas from other video teachers. It's a great community. We all share a lot of our projects and our ideas. And we're all kind of doing similar things, but by having a Hiki No curriculum, this would make it easier for a lot of the teachers. And hopefully this will allow more teachers, more schools, and more students to become involved in the Hiki No program.
It's the relationship between student and teacher that really is a major, major driver of student success. And so if you want to inspire students, you want to get into the classroom, you have to inspire the teachers.
We're back on our tour of Waimea, and we're lucky today. There's snow on Mauna Kea. Mauna Kea is the highest island mountain in the world, rising 32,000 feet from ocean floor to an altitude of 13,796 feet above sea level, which places its summit above 40% of the Earth's atmosphere. Located on the island of Hawaii, the summit of Mauna Kea hosts the world's largest astronomical observatory.
We don't really know what's happening in Hana, or in Keao, or in Kekaha. And Hiki No was this wonderful way of creating a student voice to tell us the stories of what was happening in those communities.
We set out to do a statewide student news network. We were serious about that. But when you say something like that statewide for Hawaii, you're talking about a lot of communities, very far to get to communities. But we made that commitment. Any town, any village, any farm district on these islands is part of the network.
I think the biggest thing that Hiki No has gotten me interested in would have to be how it really ties in not just Oahu, but all of the islands, you know. It's something really good to be a part of. It makes me proud to say, you know, that I'm from Hawaii and we have our own, you know, broadcast that goes around the islands. And it's not just statewide because people all around the nation can watch it.
We wanted to start to reach very remote communities who had their schools expressed an interest in Hiki No, but they were pretty inexperienced, pretty remote. So we felt that we needed to go out there and just kind of get the engine started and get them to do some production while they're being trained by us.
For Hiki No to reach out to communities that don't have those kinds of opportunities and options is huge.
Going to Mililii to help train students for Hiki No was great. It's a beautiful, idyllic setting, but so remote, so removed from the rest of what's going on in Hawaii. And yet, when we got there, the students and the teachers were so enthusiastic, so vibrant, so much wanting to tell their stories, that it just brought home the fact that that's what Hiki No is about. It really is about giving young people in these communities the opportunity to tell the story of their communities. And so it was really exciting.
For me personally, it has been a wonderful experience, but professionally, they have such gifted people with Sue and Robert and Lawrence who really guide and who help us as we lead this project in our community, in this school, and we're very fortunate.
I see it as bringing an opportunity for the kids not only to utilize multimedia technology, but it broadens their horizon.
In many ways, Mililii has been isolated for many, many years, and I think part of what Lei and Kaimi are doing here is giving the children here a view of the bigger world. And I think Hiki No coming here really helped with that.
When we first started, it was really exciting. We really didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. But over the years, the process has gotten a lot easier for the kids to follow. At the beginning, we knew what the end product should have looked like, but getting to that point was kind of a challenge.
This is Sholene Ireland reporting from Konawana High School for Hiki No.
The Hiki No experience for me has been totally amazing. I'm receiving this training in the latest technology as far as how to really tell a story, get to the heart of a matter, what's important to my students, and how to share that with the world is what Hiki No, I think, is all about. And I'm just happy to be the vehicle that helps these kids accomplish dreams.
When we look back at it, it really isn't the technology. It's about telling that story and crafting that story to make people want to listen to what you have to say.
It's really great for students and programs to be part of something like this because it's so authentic.
If the overfishing continues, the world's fish stocks will be depleted by the year 2048, according to a journal in Science magazine.
This show is revealing stories and things that are going on in our state that have never been revealed before, and I think that that's the impact.
Since it's island-based, it really tells local stories, and these are stories that are really unique to Hawaii, and it gives students, not professional adults, students to tell the story in their own eyes.
Hiki No is capturing that storytelling culture that's in the DNA of our kids and bringing it to life.
I think that when I first had my story heard through Hiki No, it was a great relief to me because I could share with people who I didn't know and hope to inspire them. So my family and I are currently in a situation where we are considered homeless. We do not have a home.
According to a recent study from the National Center on Family Homelessness, there are over 1,500 children in Hawaii who are considered homeless. Approximately 170 of those children are in high school. Victoria Cuba is one of those students.
I think this is an incredible opportunity for the students. Whether or not they go into, journalism or broadcast careers is secondary to the fact that they've gone through this. They actually have a product to share. They had to meet deadlines. They had to do this work. They had to get it right, really. And just that experience, it's going to help them in whatever they do, whatever path they choose to follow.
A lot of the things that I learned in Hiki No is helping me become better planned and organized. So it's all adding up. All my experiences are adding up and pushing me towards the future.
We have to constantly be creative and at the forefront of trying to make it better and to inspire kids. Otherwise, they're going to lose interest.
Hiki No is such an amazing entity and organization, and we always feel like it was something that was missing that we didn't know was missing.
So it happened that we begin this conversation to say, boy, something we thought which was only about student journalism, only about a view or a window into those communities, actually ends up being an extremely powerful way of teaching.
I'm always excited to see where Hiki No is going because, from the beginning to now, Hiki No has grown so much. And, in the number of participating schools and through these workshops. And I guess for me, it's just exciting to be part of something that's so special. I just kind of feel like this is the model that the rest of the nation should be following.
When we started Hiki No, we thought we'd see the students fill some gaps in community information that had gone away because of the consolidation in media here. But we see that students are bringing in perspectives that were always pretty much overlooked or that people really didn't see.
I think it's also something that PBS wants to do because it plays on our strength as a broadcast station. It's something that we can train other students and teachers in because we have that skill. And it gets us out into the community. It makes us more than just a television station.
It's just deepening and broadening our content and our understanding of Hawaii.
Broadcasts of Hiki No are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through Hiki No.